The truth might shock you. The universe doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to who you are. Look around at your current financial situation, the balance in your account, the opportunities that come your way, the resources at your disposal. All of these aren't just random circumstances, but direct reflections of your energetic identity. This ancient wisdom states, act as if you're already wealthy, and the invisible will rush to serve you. It sounds deceptively simple, doesn't it? But within these words lies the key that unlocks the door to abundance. When you move through the world, speak to others, and even think to yourself as someone who already possesses what you desire, the universe begins the remarkable process of adjusting reality to match that identity. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to attract wealth effortlessly while others struggle despite working twice as hard? What if I told you that the difference isn't luck, connections, or even talent, but something much more fundamental that lies within you? Has this ever happened to you? You set financial goals, create vision boards, repeat affirmations daily, yet find yourself stuck in the same financial patterns month after month. There's a profound reason for this disconnect, and it's not what most manifestation gurus are telling you. Stay with me until the end, because I'm about to share a forgotten universal law that the wealthy have quietly understood for generations, one that most people are neither unaware of or too afraid to fully embrace. You see, we've been taught backwards. Most of us believe we need to see the money first, and then we'll feel wealthy and secure. But the universal law works in reverse. You must embody the feeling, the posture, the mindset of prosperity first, and then watch as your external circumstances reorganize themselves to align with that inner state. What you're about to discover might surprise you, because this isn't about pretending or fake it till you make it. It's about recognizing a profound truth. The physical world doesn't create your identity, it merely reflects it. Every dollar in your bank account, every opportunity that knocks on your door, every financial challenge you face, these aren't creating who you are. They're simply mirroring back to you who you've been. In the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through exactly how to activate this principle in your life and what happens when you maintain this prosperity vibration for just 72 hours. You'll discover why most people's manifestation attempts fail and how a simple shift in your energetic signature can begin transforming your financial reality almost immediately. But before we begin, please hit the like button and let me know where in the world you're watching from today. It's always fascinating seeing who's joining us from around the world. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. Imagine for a moment walking through the world, not as someone hoping to become wealthy someday, but as someone who already carries the essence of abundance within them. How would your posture change? What decisions would you make differently? How would you speak about money and opportunity? The answers to these questions contain the seeds of your transformation. Let me share something transformative that changed my entire journey with wealth creation. Many of us have been taught a fundamental misunderstanding about how reality operates. We believe that our circumstances, our bank accounts, our possessions, our financial challenges somehow define who we are. But this is exactly backwards. The material world doesn't create your identity. It merely reflects it back to you. Think about that for a moment. Your external reality is nothing more than a mirror showing you your internal state. This revelation completely shifts how manifestation works. You're not a victim of your circumstances. You're the author of them. Imagine standing in front of an invisible mirror that captures every thought you think, every emotion you feel, and every subtle gesture you make. This mirror doesn't judge or choose what to reflect. It simply shows you exactly what you've been projecting. That's how reality functions in relation to your financial situation. When you consistently emit the vibration of lack, scarcity, and worry about money, The universe faithfully reproduces those frequencies in your physical experience. Conversely, when you embody confidence, certainty, and a deep knowing that abundance flows to you naturally, the mirror must, by universal law, reflect that back to you in tangible form. This hidden truth explains why two people can take identical actions toward wealth but experience completely different outcomes. It's never just about the strategy, it's about the energetic signature behind the strategy. The person who takes action from a place of desperate need creates very different ripples in the universe than the person who takes the same action from a place of aligned certainty. Your mindset creates the lens through which you see opportunities. When you operate from lack, your brain is literally programmed to filter out abundant signals. But the journey of transformation begins the moment you decide to flip the script, to act, think, and feel as if the wealth you desire is already yours. Now I want to go even deeper into this topic by exploring what happens behind the scenes when you make this energetic shift. There's a fascinating process that begins within 72 hours of consistently holding this new vibration. Your brain's reticular activating system, the part responsible for what you notice in your environment, recalibrates itself to spot opportunities that were always there but previously invisible to you. This isn't mystical thinking, it's a powerful combination of neuroscience and quantum mechanics. The decisions you make from this elevated state create entirely new pathways in your reality. People respond to you differently, synchronicities begin to appear, ideas that seem to come out of nowhere actually emerge from this realigned field of possibilities that surrounds you. The truly remarkable revelation is that you don't have to wait for evidence before you shift your energy. In fact, waiting for evidence first is precisely what keeps most people trapped. The wealthy have always known that identity precedes evidence, never the other way around. Your dominant thoughts and feelings about money aren't just passive observers of your reality, they're active creators of it. Every time you worry about paying bills, every moment you feel the sting of limitation, every instance you think I can't afford that, all of these are instructions to the invisible mirror, commands that it must reflect back to you with perfect fidelity. If you're resonating with this wisdom right now, type "I am the mirror" in the comments below. Because once you truly understand that you're not at the mercy of your circumstances, but rather the creator of them, everything begins to shift. Let me share with you one of the most profound revelations that transformed my own financial journey. The universe operates on what I call the echo principle. Think about how an echo works. Whatever sound you send out comes back to you, amplified and multiplied. Your financial reality functions in exactly the same way. When you operate from a mindset of scarcity and lack, constantly worrying about bills, feeling anxious about spending, or focusing on what you don't have, the universe faithfully echoes back more of the same. Your energy of not enough becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy as the echo returns with more evidence to support your belief system. But here's the beautiful revelation. This principle works just as powerfully in the positive direction. When you operate from a genuine feeling of abundance, appreciating what you have, moving through the world with certainty and ease around money, the echo multiplies your prosperity. This is the hidden truth behind why wealthy people seem to effortlessly attract opportunities that others miss. Their inner landscape was already rich before anything materialized externally. I remember the turning point in my own journey when I realized I had been approaching manifestation entirely backwards. Like most people, I was waiting for money to arrive in my account before allowing myself to feel prosperous. I thought, once I have X amount, then I'll feel secure and abundant. But that day never seemed to come because I was reversing the natural order of creation. The breakthrough comes when you flip this formula on its head. You must first embody the feeling of prosperity in your thoughts, emotions, and actions before the money can arrive. This sequence shift isn't just a minor adjustment, it's the fundamental key that unlocks the entire manifestation process. Think of it like planting a garden. You don't wait to see the flowers bloom before you believe in the seeds you've planted. You nurture the soil, water consistently, and trust in the invisible process happening beneath the surface. Your prosperity works the same way. You must cultivate the inner environment first, then the outer results appear as a natural consequence. This mindset transformation explains why two people can receive the same financial advice or opportunity but experience radically different outcomes. One person approaches it from the vibration of, "I need this to work," or "I'm in trouble," while another approaches it with, "This is simply another channel for the abundance that's already mine." The echo principle ensures they'll receive completely different results despite taking identical actions. Behind the scenes, what's really happening is that your subconscious beliefs about wealth are broadcasting a signal 24 hours a day. This signal doesn't take breaks or days off. It's constantly creating resonance with matching experiences, opportunities, and people. The decision to deliberately alter this signal by acting as if you're already wealthy creates immediate ripples throughout your reality. When you make this shift, you'll notice that seemingly random encounters start working in your favor. Ideas come more freely. Solutions appear where before there were only problems. This isn't coincidence. It's the direct impact of aligning your inner frequency with the abundance that was always available to you. If you're ready to transform your financial reality through these powerful principles, hit that subscribe button now. I'm constantly sharing new insights that can help you activate your natural state of abundance. If you're beginning to see how this echo principle has been operating in your life, whether positively or negatively, write "echo activated" in the comments below. Understanding this principle is the first step toward consciously directing it in your favor. What most people don't realize about abundance is that it operates silently beneath the surface of our conscious awareness. You see, we've been taught to focus on the words we say, our affirmations, our prayers, our vision statements. But here's the revelation that changed everything for me. The universe doesn't actually listen to your words. It listens to your frequency. Think about it. How many times have you said, "I am abundant," while feeling anything but abundant? How often have you repeated prosperity affirmations while your body was tense with financial anxiety? This misalignment creates a fundamental discord that the universe can sense immediately. The true ritual of abundance begins at a much deeper level. The universe hears how you walk into a room. It notices how your shoulders are positioned when you check your bank account. It registers how you respond when unexpected expenses arise. Your body language and attitude are broadcasting a message far more powerful than anything your lips could ever say. I discovered this truth during a profound awakening in my own journey. For years, I had been speaking all the right words, but emitting all the wrong energy. My breakthrough came when I realized that true transformation wasn't about perfecting my verbal declarations. It was about aligning my entire being with the energy of wealth. This alignment happens in the quietest moments. It's in how you prepare your morning coffee, how you greet the day, how you hold yourself when no one else is watching. These silent moments are where the real magic happens because they reveal your authentic relationship with abundance. They show what you truly believe when there's no audience to perform for. Now, I want to address a common misunderstanding. Many people think that acting wealthy means spending recklessly or pretending to have more than you do. Nothing could be further from the truth. Acting as if you're already wealthy isn't about external displays. It's about internal certainty. True wealth consciousness moves with the quiet confidence of someone who knows deep in their bones that money flows to them naturally and effortlessly. It's not about chasing opportunities with desperation. It's about attracting them through alignment. This subtle shift transforms everything. When you operate from this elevated state, you practice the art of allowing rather than pursuing. You understand that the quantum field, the invisible matrix of energy that connects all things, is already organizing the threads of your destiny. Your job isn't to force or manipulate these threads, but to align your energy in a way that allows them to weave naturally in your favor. I remember watching a woman enter a high-end store once. She didn't have extraordinary wealth by conventional standards, but she moved with such natural confidence and ease that everyone, including the staff, immediately treated her as someone of importance. She wasn't pretending, she simply knew her value and carried herself accordingly. That's the essence of the energy I'm describing. The most powerful aspect of this approach is that it conserves your precious life energy. Think about how exhausting it is to constantly chase, strive, and push for financial results. When you shift to attraction rather than pursuit, you enter a state of energetic efficiency where more results come from less effort. Not because you're working less, but because your energy is working smarter. This principle operates behind the scenes in every aspect of wealth creation. The person who anxiously checks stock prices 20 times a day emits a very different frequency than the person who invests with calm certainty. Their financial decisions may look identical on paper, but the universe responds to the energy behind those decisions, not just the decisions themselves. If you're beginning to sense how your own energy has been either supporting or sabotaging your prosperity, write energy shift activated in the comments. Your awareness of this principle is the first step toward consciously embodying the frequency of true abundance. Now I want to share something that few manifestation teachers ever discuss: the specific timing of when your energy shift begins to materialize results. There's a fascinating phenomenon I've observed repeatedly, both in my own journey and with thousands of clients I've guided through this transformation. I call it the 72-hour window. When you consistently maintain the vibration of prosperity, thinking, feeling, and acting as if you're already wealthy, for just 72 hours, the universe will show you a concrete sign of prosperity. This isn't arbitrary timing, but represents a critical threshold during which your sustained energy pattern gains enough momentum to begin materializing visible results in your reality. The key word here is sustained. Most people practice abundance thinking sporadically, perhaps feeling confident in the morning after meditation, but then reverting to scarcity thinking when an unexpected bill arrives in the afternoon. This energetic inconsistency creates mixed signals that cancel each other out. The 72-hour window requires coherence, maintaining your prosperity consciousness even when external circumstances try to pull you back into old patterns. Think of it like heating water. At 99 degrees, water is very hot, but it's still water. At 100 degrees, a phase shift occurs, and it transforms into steam. Your consciousness works similarly. Maintaining prosperity vibration for 72 hours creates an energetic phase shift where the invisible begins organizing itself into visible form. During this window, pay close attention. The signs might be subtle at first, perhaps an unexpected refund, a timely phone call with an opportunity, or a creative idea that seems to appear from nowhere. These aren't coincidences, but the first physical manifestations of your shifted frequency. I've witnessed remarkable breakthroughs during this 72-hour period, job offers materializing after months of searching, surprise checks arriving, and business opportunities emerging seemingly out of thin air. But the most powerful transformation occurs in your relationship with receiving itself. This brings me to what I call the frequency of deservingness. Most people focus entirely on asking, visualizing, and affirming what they want. But here's the revelation that changed everything for me. The universe doesn't deliver what you ask for. It delivers what you believe you deserve. Think about how you receive compliments. Do you accept them gracefully, or do you deflect and diminish them? Your response reveals volumes about your relationship with receiving all forms of abundance. Each time you reject a blessing, even something as simple as a compliment, you're signaling to the universe that you're uncomfortable receiving good things. The frequency of deservingness doesn't activate through words or techniques, but through your willingness to allow good things to enter your life without resistance. It's your capacity to receive prosperity with grace rather than suspicion or disbelief. This is why many people manifest opportunities only to sabotage them unconsciously. Their asking frequency is strong, but their receiving frequency is weak. I worked with a client who consistently attracted financial opportunities, but could never seem to fully capitalize on them. During our work together, she realized that, deep down, she didn't believe she deserved substantial wealth. Her childhood experiences had programmed her to believe that money and struggle were inseparable. Once she began deliberately practicing the art of receiving, starting with small gifts and compliments, her entire financial reality transformed within weeks. If you're recognizing this pattern in your own life, where your conscious desires and unconscious beliefs about deservingness are misaligned, type "I deserve abundance" in the comments. Acknowledging this misalignment is the first step toward harmonizing your energy field around prosperity. Let me show you something that completely transformed my understanding of wealth creation. When I work with clients who struggle to manifest prosperity, one of the first things I observe is how they respond to small blessings. It might seem unrelated, but the way you receive a simple compliment reveals everything about how you receive all forms of abundance in your life. Think about it. When someone says, "You look amazing today," or "That was a brilliant idea," what's your immediate response? Do you graciously accept with a "thank you," or do you deflect with, "Oh, this old outfit," or "It wasn't really that good"? This seemingly innocent habit of rejecting small blessings sends a powerful message to the universe that you're uncomfortable with receiving. Each time you diminish a gift or compliment, you're essentially putting up a "do not deliver" sign on your energetic mailbox. The universe doesn't distinguish between small blessings and large ones. It simply learns that you don't know how to receive. And if you can't comfortably receive a compliment worth nothing, how can the universe trust you with opportunities worth thousands? Wealth behaves like an invited guest in your home. It notices how welcome it feels. When you receive even small amounts of money with gratitude and respect, when you accept opportunities without questioning whether you deserve them, you're essentially rolling out the red carpet for prosperity to enter and remain in your life. I worked with a successful entrepreneur who could attract money but couldn't seem to keep it. During our sessions, we discovered that while he was excellent at the earning part of the equation, he had never developed the skill of receiving. He would immediately diminish his achievements, feel guilty about his success, and unconsciously sabotage his prosperity. Once he began practicing conscious receiving, starting with simply saying "thank you" when complimented, his wealth not only increased but finally stabilized. Now let's explore the most powerful wealth-creating tool you already possess, but may have never fully activated. The ancient alchemists spent lifetimes searching for ways to transform base metals into gold. What they discovered, though few understood it, was that the true gold isn't hidden in the earth, but in the human mind. Everything you see in the material world, every building, business, innovation, and fortune, was first an invisible thought before it became tangible reality. Your mind is literally a gold mine, a wealth factory that never stops producing except when it becomes clouded with fear and limitation. Most people spend their lives searching for treasure outside themselves, in better jobs, investment strategies, or business opportunities, but few dare to look within, where the real wealth creation begins. Every dollar in circulation, every product on The market, every service offered, was once merely a thought, an idea that someone believed in enough to manifest into physical form. Your thoughts about money aren't just reflections of your reality, they're the architects of it. When you think thoughts of scarcity, your mind manufactures evidence to support those beliefs. When you genuinely shift to thoughts of abundance, that same powerful factory begins producing opportunities, connections, and pathways to wealth that were always there but previously invisible to you. This revelation brings both responsibility and extraordinary power. The quality of your thinking directly determines the quality of your financial reality. This isn't metaphysical speculation, it's which all manifestation occurs. The journey from invisible thought to visible reality happens through consistent focus, emotional alignment, and inspired action. If you've ever experienced a moment where a brilliant idea seemed to download into your consciousness, whether for a business, investment, or solution to a problem, type mental gold in the comments. Those moments of clarity are your mind's wealth factory, operating at its highest capacity. What most people don't realize about the ancient alchemists is that they weren't actually trying to turn lead into gold, at least not the wise ones. The true alchemists understood a much more profound truth. The human mind itself possesses the same essence as fire. Just like fire, your mind can either consume or illuminate. It can burn down possibilities or forge new realities. This mental alchemy happens continuously, whether you're conscious of it or not. When you think from a place of fear and scarcity, the fire of your mind burns destructively, consuming opportunities, relationships, and resources. But when you shift to thinking from vision and abundance, this same fire becomes transformative, forging ideas into tangible wealth, illuminating paths previously hidden from view. I had a profound realization during my own wealth journey. The alchemists weren't searching for a chemical formula to transmute physical elements. They were developing the internal technology to transmute consciousness itself. Their cryptic writings and mysterious symbols weren't hiding literal gold-making instructions, but rather the psychological and spiritual processes for transforming the mind's relationship with abundance. This revelation completely shifted how I approached manifestation. I stopped focusing exclusively on external strategies and began working directly with the fire of my consciousness. The results were extraordinary. Opportunities began appearing that I couldn't have orchestrated with my limited perspective. Solutions emerged to problems that had seemed insurmountable. Resources arrived precisely when needed, often from unexpected sources. Let me share with you a powerful visualization exercise that activates this alchemical process. It's a practice I've refined over years of working with clients who have used it to manifest everything from unexpected income to life-changing business opportunities. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine a radiant golden light within your head. See it beginning to gently rotate, creating a warm magnetic energy. Feel this light gradually expanding until it surrounds your entire body like a luminous cocoon of golden energy. Now visualize this light extending further, encompassing your home, your environment, and everyone you interact with. This golden light represents the energy of mental gold, the radiance of elevated thought. As you sit within this field of golden energy, feel yourself becoming a transmitter of prosperity consciousness. Feel how this vibration naturally attracts ideas, opportunities, and resources that resonate with abundance. The brilliance of this practice lies in its simplicity and effectiveness. When performed just 3 times daily for a few minutes, it begins to recalibrate your energetic signature. People will begin responding to you differently. Numbers will seem to move in your favor. Ideas will flow with greater clarity and potency. What's happening behind the scenes is a profound rewiring of your relationship with abundance. This visualization isn't just a pleasant mental exercise, it's activating specific neural pathways associated with possibility rather than limitation. You're literally reshaping the lens through which you perceive and interact with the world. The most fascinating breakthrough occurs when you realize that money in its purest form is simply energy concentrated in physical form. Your mind has the innate capacity to direct that energy, to draw it toward you, to shape it, to multiply it. But there's one condition. You must think about wealth without the fear of losing it. Many people sabotage their manifestations here. They visualize abundance, but simultaneously grip tightly to the fear of it disappearing. This duality extinguishes the alchemical fire. The universe cannot manifest something you're contradicting in the same thought. I encourage you to practice this golden light visualization tonight before sleep and tomorrow morning upon waking. Notice what shifts in your perception and what opportunities begin appearing in your awareness. If you've experienced moments where your mind transformed a challenge into an opportunity, type "Alchemist activated" in the comments. Let me reveal something that transformed my entire relationship with wealth, something I rarely hear discussed in financial circles. Money has its own voice. It doesn't speak in words that your ears can hear, but in energy that your soul can feel. Every thought you emit about money, every emotion you attach to it, every belief you hold about it, money understands all of this perfectly. This revelation completely shifted my perspective. I had spent years chasing money, pursuing opportunities, and wondering why abundance seemed to elude me despite my best efforts. Then I discovered a hidden truth. Money doesn't like to be pursued. It actually prefers to be called through resonance. Much like a wild animal that flees from the hunter but approaches the still observer, money retreats from desperation but flows toward alignment. The breakthrough insight is that money moves not by need, but by magnetism. When you need money, you repel it. When you align with its energy, you attract it naturally. This is why some people seem to effortlessly draw financial opportunities into their lives, while others work twice as hard with half the results. The difference isn't in their actions, but in their resonance. I remember working with a brilliant entrepreneur who was constantly stressed about cash flow. Despite excellent business ideas, money seemed to slip through his fingers. During our work together, I helped him recognize that he was relating to money from a place of anxiety and control rather than harmony and trust. As he began to shift his energy, not just his strategy, his business's financial situation transformed within months. What I've discovered through years of study and personal experience is that money speaks three primary languages, and when you become fluent in these, your financial reality transforms automatically. The first language is order. Money loves harmonic flow. When your finances are in chaos, when you don't know what's coming in or going out, when bills pile up unopened, when decisions are made from panic, money cannot stay. It's energetically repelled by disorder. The second language is gratitude. Money is magnetically drawn to those who genuinely appreciate what they already have, regardless of the amount. When you pay bills with resentment, when you focus on lack, when you compare your situation unfavorably to others, you're essentially telling money it's not valued in your life. Conversely, when you express sincere gratitude for even small amounts, you create a resonance that attracts greater abundance. The third language is direction. Money follows those who know where they're going. When you have clarity about your financial destination, not just vague hopes but clear vision, money recognizes this certainty and aligns with your path. Uncertainty and wavering repel prosperity. Decisiveness and clear intention attract it. These languages operate on a vibrational level that transcends your conscious mind. When you say, "I don't have enough," or "I can't afford that," money translates this as "I'm not welcome here." When you say thank you for what I have, money understands there's space for more. When you declare money flows to me through multiple channels, money receives the message that it's time to move toward you. This communication happens continuously, whether you're aware of it or not. Your thoughts about money are constantly broadcasting a signal that either invites or repels prosperity. The revelation that changed everything for me was realizing I could deliberately change this signal through conscious awareness and energetic alignment. If you're beginning to recognize how you've been unconsciously communicating with money through your energy rather than just your actions, type "speaking money's language" in the comments. This awareness is the first step toward becoming fluent in the vibration that naturally attracts wealth. Now I want to reveal what I consider the most overlooked gateway to abundance, a portal that few people truly cross, yet without which wealth always remains a distant mirage. This portal isn't a secret investment strategy or a hidden business opportunity. It's something much more fundamental and accessible to everyone: gratitude. But let me be clear, I'm not talking about the superficial gratitude of saying thanks when someone holds the door open. I'm referring to a profound vibrational state that fundamentally alters your relationship with abundance. True gratitude isn't just an attitude, it's an energetic signature that tells the universe you're ready to receive and honor what you already possess. This revelation transformed my own journey when I realized I had been approaching gratitude as a technique rather than a state of being. I was practicing gratitude while still fundamentally focusing on what was missing in my life. The breakthrough came when I understood that genuine gratitude doesn't coexist with yearning. It's a complete acknowledgement that everything you need is already present or on its way. Think about how many people pray for prosperity, visualize abundance, and repeat affirmations while internally focusing on lack. This subtle contradiction creates an energetic barrier that blocks the very thing they're trying to attract. Genuine gratitude dissolves this barrier instantly. To help you understand the mechanism behind this transformation, imagine a river flowing with liquid gold. This river represents the continuous flow of abundance that's always moving throughout the universe. When you build barriers of complaints, doubts, and feelings of unworthiness, the river stops. The gold accumulates elsewhere because energy only follows the path of least resistance. Every single act of genuine gratitude, paying a bill with appreciation rather than resentment, acknowledging a small win instead of dismissing it, valuing what you have instead of fixating on what's missing, melts these barriers. The beauty of this principle is that the size of your gratitude doesn't matter. What matters is its authenticity. I worked with a client who was deeply in debt and couldn't see any way out of her financial situation. Rather than immediately focusing on complex strategies, I guided her to begin a radical practice of genuine gratitude. Even for the smallest things, a warm shower, a comfortable bed, the ability to pay even a portion of a bill. Within weeks, her energy completely shifted. She began approaching her finances from a place of appreciation rather than fear, and remarkable opportunities started appearing. A job offer with higher pay, a forgotten refund, a chance to refinance her debt at a lower rate. The hidden truth operating behind the scenes is that gratitude doesn't just change your perspective, it literally alters your energetic frequency. When you vibrate at the frequency of appreciation, you become compatible with receiving more. It's like tuning a radio to the exact station you want to hear. When you're aligned with abundance, you can receive its broadcast. Clearly, this alignment happens at the quantum level of reality. Your thoughts and emotions aren't just subjective experiences, they're energetic events that ripple through the field of possibilities around you. Gratitude creates coherence in this field, allowing manifestation to occur with less resistance. The most powerful revelation about this portal is that it works regardless of your current circumstances. You don't need to wait until you have enough to be grateful. In fact, the act of being genuinely grateful for what seems insufficient is precisely what opens the door to sufficiency and then abundance. If you've experienced a moment where genuine gratitude seemed to unlock unexpected blessings in your life, write "portal opened" in the comments. Your experience is evidence of this universal principle in action, and I'd love to hear how it's manifested in your journey. Let me share a profound insight that completely reshaped my understanding of manifestation. When most people hear the word faith, they think of hope, a wishing or longing that something good might happen in the future. But true faith is something far more powerful. It's not hoping something will happen. It's an invisible force that actually alters reality before your physical eyes can perceive the change. Think about what faith really is at its essence. Faith isn't waiting, wondering, or wishing. Faith simply knows. It operates like a magnetic force field around you, just as a magnet doesn't need to push or chase metal objects. It simply attracts them through its mere presence. Faith draws money, opportunities, and resources toward you without struggle or strain. This revelation transformed my approach to wealth creation when I realized I had been practicing a weak version of faith, one filled with subtle doubts, questions, and hesitations. The breakthrough came when I understood that genuine faith creates an energy field so powerful that the universe has no choice but to respond with matching circumstances. What happens behind the scenes when you activate this magnetic faith is fascinating. Your brain's reticular activating system, the part responsible for what you notice in your environment, begins filtering reality differently. Opportunities that were always present but previously invisible suddenly become apparent. Connections between seemingly random events reveal themselves as perfect synchronicities. Your intuition sharpens dramatically, guiding you to the exact right place at the exact right time. But here's the crucial understanding that most manifestation teachers miss. Faith isn't something you practice in isolation during meditation or visualization. True faith demonstrates itself in everyday activities. Paying your debts with calm rather than anxiety, investing with confidence rather than fear, accepting gifts with gratitude rather than unworthiness. I witnessed this transformation in a client who had been struggling financially for years. He knew all the right techniques and affirmations, but his energy told a different story. When we examined how he handled daily financial transactions, we discovered that each interaction was infused with subtle fear. He would check his bank account multiple times daily with apprehension. He would hesitate before making even small purchases. He would tense up when bills arrived. His breakthrough began when he started approaching these same activities with genuine faith. He paid bills with gratitude for the services received. He checked his accounts with calm confidence. He made decisions from certainty rather than fear. Each simple act, done with this newfound certainty, became a silent vote to the universe that he was ready to receive abundance. What makes this approach so powerful is that it doesn't require dramatic external changes to begin shifting your reality. You don't need to wait for evidence before adopting this faith-based energy. In fact, waiting for evidence first is precisely what keeps most people trapped in financial limitation. The wealthy innately understand that faith precedes evidence, never the other way around. This principle operates behind the scenes in every aspect of wealth creation. The person who invests with fear and doubt creates a very different energetic outcome than the person who invests with calm certainty. Their financial decisions may be identical on paper, but the universe responds to the energy behind those decisions, not just the decisions themselves. I encourage you to examine your own relationship with faith in your financial life. Notice how you feel when you check your accounts, pay your bills, or make financial decisions. Are these moments infused with subtle anxiety or calm certainty? Your honest answer reveals volumes about the magnetic field you're currently generating around wealth. If you've experienced moments where acting with calm certainty, even when external evidence suggested otherwise, seemed to magnetize unexpected blessings into your life, write "faith magnetized" in the comments. These experiences aren't coincidences, but demonstrations of this universal principle in action. Now, I want to share a fundamental truth about abundance that transformed my understanding of wealth creation. Most people chase quick wins, big paydays, or dramatic financial breakthroughs, but they miss the essential nature of true prosperity. Abundance works exactly like a river. If you block its channel, it stops flowing. If you allow it to flow freely, it naturally reaches its destination regardless of obstacles in its path. The revelation that changed everything for me was understanding that genuine wealth doesn't arrive in dramatic bursts that quickly disappear. It flows constantly and quietly, like a steady stream that gradually carves canyons through solid rock. This consistent flow might seem less exciting than sudden windfalls, but it's infinitely more powerful and sustainable. Think about people who win the lottery or receive unexpected large sums of money. Without understanding this flow principle, they often find themselves broke again within a few years. The influx of money wasn't supported by the proper channels to maintain and direct that abundance. The river overflowed its banks and dispersed rather than flowing productively. What I discovered through years of studying wealth consciousness is that you, your mind, body, and spirit, are literally a channel for universal abundance. This isn't metaphorical. It's a practical, energetic reality. Each positive action you take, each conscious decision you make, each moment of gratitude you experience, acts as a conduit that guides the flow of prosperity through your life. Conversely, each doubt you harbor, each criticism you express, each complaint you voice, acts like a stone thrown into the stream, diverting, blocking, or completely stopping the flow. These energetic blockages might seem insignificant individually, but collectively they can dam the entire river of abundance that would otherwise naturally flow toward you. I worked with a talented entrepreneur who had created several successful businesses, but always seemed to hit a financial ceiling. During our work together, we discovered he had unconscious patterns of interrupting his own flow. Whenever money began flowing abundantly, he would suddenly question his worthiness, worry about maintaining the success, or find reasons to be dissatisfied with the results. These subtle, energetic blockages were like hidden dams in his river of prosperity. His transformation began when he understood that his role wasn't to force or control the flow, but to maintain clear channels for it. He started paying attention to his daily thoughts and emotions around money. He practiced staying open and receptive rather than tense and controlling. He learned to celebrate the flow, whether it appeared as pennies or thousands, with the same genuine appreciation. What happens behind the scenes when you master this flow principle is remarkable. The universe doesn't need to be convinced to send abundance your way. It's already moving in your direction naturally. Your only job is to remove the barriers you've unconsciously placed in its path and to maintain clear channels through aligned thoughts, emotions, and actions. I invite you to consider your own relationship with the flow of abundance. Do you find yourself frantically chasing after prosperity, or do you move with the calm certainty of someone who knows abundance is already flowing toward you? Do you trust the river's natural movement, or do you try to force it in directions it isn't meant to go? Your honest answers reveal volumes about your current relationship with wealth. The most powerful aspect of this principle is that it works regardless of your current financial circumstances. Whether you have very little or substantial resources, your relationship with the flow remains the key factor in expanding your prosperity. Creating clear channels isn't about what you have, it's about how you relate to what's flowing through your life. If you're beginning to recognize how you might be unintentionally blocking your own flow of abundance, type "clearing my channels" in the comments. This awareness is the first step toward allowing prosperity to flow more freely through your life. Let me share with you one of the most powerful revelations I've encountered in my wealth journey. Your mind possesses a silent, invisible power that's operating every moment of every day, the ability to attract what it vibrates with most intensely. This isn't mystical thinking. It's a fundamental principle of energy that shapes your entire financial reality. Think of your mind as a sophisticated magnet. Just as a physical magnet effortlessly draws metal objects toward itself without chasing or pursuing them, your mind naturally attracts experiences, opportunities, and circumstances that match its dominant thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. This attraction happens automatically, whether you're conscious of it or not. I remember working with a brilliant executive who seemed to have everything required for financial success: education, connections, skills, yet kept experiencing the same frustrating patterns in his career and finances. When we examined the frequency his mind was emitting, we discovered he was broadcasting contradictory signals. Consciously, he desired wealth and opportunity. Subconsciously, he harbored deep beliefs about money being the source of family conflict and personal corruption. This revelation leads us to the most critical step in transforming your mind into a wealth magnet: eliminating inner contradiction. The universe responds only to coherence, not to mixed signals. When you affirm "I want more money" while simultaneously feeling "I don't deserve to receive it," or "wealthy people are unethical," your energy becomes confused and weakened. It's like trying to drive with one foot on the gas and one foot on the brake. You consume enormous energy but go nowhere. Behind the scenes, what's really happening is a battle between your conscious desires and your subconscious programming. Your subconscious mind, which drives approximately 95% of your decisions and reactions, holds beliefs about money that were formed long before you had the capacity for critical thinking. These deep-seated beliefs create an energetic signature that the universe responds to more powerfully than your surface-level affirmations or vision boards. The journey toward wealth magnetism begins with honest self-reflection. Ask yourself, what did I learn about money in childhood? What do I believe about wealthy people? What fears arise when I imagine having abundance? These questions reveal the hidden contradictions that might be neutralizing your manifestation efforts. I witnessed a remarkable transformation in a client who discovered her primary internal contradiction was a belief that if I become wealthy, people will only want me for my money, not for who I am. This subconscious fear was creating a powerful resistance to the very prosperity she consciously desired. Once this contradiction was brought to light and addressed, her financial reality began shifting almost immediately. The process of harmonizing your conscious desires with your subconscious beliefs creates what quantum physicists call coherence, a state where all parts of a system are working in harmony rather than opposition. When your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs about wealth are aligned, your manifestation power multiplies exponentially. What's fascinating about this process is that once you achieve this coherence, attraction happens effortlessly. You won't need to obsess over every detail of manifestation because your entire being becomes a natural conduit for prosperity. Opportunities find you, ideas flow to you, and resources align around you, not because you're chasing them, but because you've become magnetic to them. I invite you to spend some time today observing your thoughts and feelings about money with genuine curiosity. Notice any internal contradictions without judgment. Each contradiction you identify and begin to resolve strengthens your magnetic field and clears the path for abundance to flow naturally toward you. If you've recognized a specific contradiction in your own relationship with wealth that might be blocking your flow, type "aligning my magnet" in the comments. Becoming aware of these internal conflicts is the first crucial step in resolving them and amplifying your wealth attraction power. Now I want to reveal one of the most powerful wealth principles I've discovered, one that completely transformed my understanding of manifestation. Before you ever see $1 in your bank account, before any opportunity materializes in your life, something far more powerful is at work: invisible wealth. This isn't some abstract concept, but a tangible, energetic reality that precedes all physical prosperity. Invisible wealth is the energy you build, the vibration you emit, and most importantly, the decisions you make when no one else is watching. It's the foundation that determines what will eventually manifest in your visible reality. Most people focus entirely on the visible, the numbers in their accounts, the possessions they own, the external markers of success. But those who truly understand wealth creation know that everything visible begins in the invisible realm. I remember working with a client who was constantly chasing external validation, higher income, better title, more impressive possessions. Despite achieving many of these markers, she felt perpetually empty and anxious about money. Her breakthrough came when she realized she had been building her financial life on a shallow foundation. She had prioritized what others could see while neglecting the invisible infrastructure that sustains true prosperity. Think about a garden for a moment. When you admire beautiful flowers blooming above the soil, you're seeing only a fraction of what makes that beauty possible. Beneath the surface, an intricate network of roots has been growing silently, drawing nutrients, establishing strength, and creating the foundation for what eventually emerges into the light. Those roots might not be impressive to look at, they're not colorful or fragrant, but without them, the flowers could never exist. Your prosperity works in exactly the same way. The invisible wealth you're cultivating right now, your thoughts about abundance, your emotional relationship with money, your habits around resources. These are the roots that will eventually produce the visible flowers of financial success. Every decision you make in private, every moment you choose abundance thinking when no one would know the difference, every time you act from prosperity consciousness rather than scarcity, all of these seemingly small choices are creating your financial future. What happens behind the scenes during this invisible wealth creation is fascinating. Your consistent thoughts and emotions about money create neural pathways that begin to automate abundance-oriented decisions. Your subconscious mind, which drives most of your behavior, begins to align with prosperity rather than scarcity. Your reticular activating system, the part of your brain that filters information, starts noticing opportunities that were always present but previously invisible to you. I witnessed a remarkable transformation in an entrepreneur who committed to this principle. For 90 days, he focused exclusively on his invisible wealth, his thoughts, emotions, and private decisions about money, without changing anything about his external strategy. The shift in his business was nothing short of miraculous. Opportunities that had been hidden in plain sight suddenly became obvious. Relationships that had been stagnant began flowing with collaborative energy. Resources that seemed scarce started appearing precisely when needed. The revelation that changed everything for him was understanding that what you do in silence, without external recognition, without anyone to impress, without immediate results, has enormous power. These are the moments that truly determine your financial destiny, far more than the visible actions others can see and applaud. If you're beginning to sense how your invisible garden of prosperity might need more attention than your visible Financial strategies, type "tending my roots" in the comments. This awareness marks the beginning of a profound shift in how you create wealth from the inside out. Let me share something that completely revolutionized my approach to creating wealth. Most of us have been conditioned to believe that the path to prosperity lies somewhere outside ourselves. In the right investment strategy, the perfect business model, or advice from financial experts. We search frantically for external maps and blueprints, convinced that someone else holds the key to our abundance. But here's the revelation that changed everything for me. Within you exists an instrument more powerful than any external guidance system, an internal compass that always points toward wealth. This inner compass isn't metaphorical, it's a sophisticated guidance system built into your consciousness that, when properly calibrated, navigates you unerringly toward prosperity. Think about the most successful wealth creators throughout history. While they certainly used external strategies, their most significant breakthroughs came through listening to an inner knowing that often contradicted conventional wisdom. I remember working with a client who had spent thousands of dollars on financial programs, seminars, and coaches. Despite accumulating a library of strategies, she felt more confused than ever. Her transformation began when she realized she'd been looking outside for answers that could only be found within. As she learned to quiet the external noise and listen to her internal guidance, opportunities appeared that were perfectly aligned with her unique gifts and circumstances. Opportunities no generic strategy could have revealed. What's happening behind the scenes when you tune into this inner compass is fascinating. Your intuition isn't just some mystical sixth sense. It's your entire being processing information at a level far deeper than conscious thought. It integrates your experiences, values, knowledge, and energetic resonance to provide guidance that's uniquely tailored to your path. This is why cookie-cutter financial advice often fails. It doesn't account for your individual journey toward abundance. The journey of calibrating this internal navigation system begins with understanding what activates it. Through years of study and personal experience, I've discovered that your inner compass activates through three essential elements: clarity, confidence, and coherent action. Think of these as the components that transform your intuition from a whisper to a clear, unmistakable signal. Clarity is the foundation. Without clear intentions and values around wealth, your internal guidance system receives mixed signals. It's like trying to tune a radio to multiple stations simultaneously. You get only static. When you define precisely what prosperity means to you, not what society dictates it should be, your compass begins to orient itself with remarkable precision. The second activator is confidence, not arrogance, but a quiet certainty in your ability to receive guidance. When doubts cloud your mind, they create interference patterns that distort the signal. Each time you trust a subtle nudge, act on an intuitive insight, or follow through on inner guidance, your confidence grows and the signal strengthens. The third and most often overlooked component is coherent action. Many people receive clear, intuitive guidance but fail to act on it. They get an inspired idea, but hesitate, analyze, or seek unnecessary validation until the moment passes. Your inner compass doesn't just point the way, it requires movement. Each aligned action you take amplifies the signal for the next step, creating a powerful feedback loop of intuition and manifestation. I witnessed a remarkable transformation in an entrepreneur who committed to following his inner compass rather than conventional business wisdom. When everyone advised expanding his product line, something within him sensed the power of deeper specialization. By trusting this counterintuitive guidance and taking coherent action despite external criticism, he transformed his struggling business into an industry leader within 18 months. If you're beginning to recognize moments where your inner compass has been quietly guiding you toward prosperity, perhaps through hunches, ideas, or inexplicable certainty about a direction, type "following my compass" in the comments. These intuitive nudges aren't random. They're your internal navigation system already working to guide you toward abundance. Now, I want to reveal something that completely shifted my understanding of how opportunity works in our lives. Most people believe that opportunities arrive by luck, chance, or simply being in the right place at the right time. They wait passively, hoping to get lucky or stumble upon the perfect connection or breakthrough. But here's the truth that transformed my own journey. There's an invisible law. Operating behind the scenes, opportunity always follows the appropriate magnet. Your energy, thoughts, and decisions aren't just passive elements of your experience. They form a powerful magnetic field that either attracts or repels possibilities. This isn't mystical thinking, but a practical principle that explains why some people seem to effortlessly attract ideal circumstances, while others struggle to find even basic opportunities. I remember working with a talented professional who was consistently overlooked for promotions and opportunities despite being highly qualified. From the outside, it seemed like simple bad luck or perhaps office politics. But when we examined her energetic signature around opportunity, we discovered she was unconsciously broadcasting a frequency of "not quite ready" and "maybe someday, but not now." Despite her conscious desires, her energy was actually repelling the very opportunities she sought. What's happening behind the scenes is that your vibration around opportunity sends ripples through the quantum field of possibilities. This field doesn't respond to your words or even your conscious intentions. It responds to the coherent energy you emit. When your thoughts, emotions, and expectations align around deserving and being ready for opportunity, you become irresistible to matching circumstances. Building this personal opportunity magnet involves 3 interconnected steps that amplify each other when practiced together. The first step is internal preparation. This includes gaining absolute clarity about what you want, not vague hopes, but specific vision, developing unshakable confidence that you deserve it, and ensuring your actions align with this vision. Without this internal foundation, your magnetic field remains weak and inconsistent. The second step is conscious presence. Most people miss opportunities not because they don't exist, but because they're not paying attention. Developing the habit of heightened awareness, noticing subtle cues, unexpected connections, and seemingly random synchronicities, activates your receptivity to opportunities that are already present in your environment. The third and most powerful step is creating consistency between your desire and behavior. This is where most opportunity magnets break down. People say they want financial freedom but make decisions from scarcity. They claim to seek prosperity but speak the language of limitation. When your behavior contradicts your stated desires, you create energetic static that weakens your magnetic pull. I witnessed a remarkable transformation in a client who committed to aligning these 3 elements. Within 90 days of consistent practice, her professional landscape transformed completely. Opportunities that she had been struggling to create began appearing effortlessly. People she had been trying to connect with for months suddenly reached out to her. Resources that seemed scarce became readily available. The revelation that changed everything for her was understanding that she wasn't actually pursuing opportunities. She was becoming magnetic to them. This subtle shift from chasing to attracting completely transformed her relationship with prosperity. Instead of exhausting herself with constant effort, she learned to emit the frequency that naturally draws opportunities toward her. What's most powerful about this principle is that it operates regardless of external circumstances. Economic downturns, Industry changes or competitive landscapes don't determine your opportunity flow. Your magnetic field does. When you consistently emit the frequency of deserving and receiving, the universe finds a way to deliver matching circumstances. If you're beginning to recognize how your own energy might be either magnetizing or repelling the opportunities you desire, type "activating my magnet" in the comments. This awareness is the first step toward deliberately cultivating the frequency that naturally attracts prosperity into your life. Let me share a profound insight that completely transformed my understanding of wealth creation. Most people measure wealth solely by what they have, the numbers in their accounts, the assets they own, the income they generate. But here's the revelation that changed everything for me. True wealth isn't measured only by what you possess, but by the energy you circulate. Think about it like this. A tiny spark of light in a dark room can remain small and isolated, barely illuminating its immediate surroundings. Or that same spark can ignite a powerful fire that brightens the entire space. The difference isn't in the initial spark, it's in what happens next. Your energy around money operates in exactly the same way. It can remain limited and contained, or it can expand exponentially to attract more money and opportunities than you ever thought possible. I witnessed this transformation in a client who had decent financial resources, but felt perpetually restricted. Despite having more than enough by most standards, her energy around money was constricted, cautious, fearful, and focused on preservation rather than expansion. When she shifted to approaching her resources with expansive energy, generous, confident, and growth-oriented, her financial reality transformed dramatically. Not because she suddenly acquired more, but because the energy she circulated began multiplying what was already there. What happens behind the scenes when you activate this multiplication energy is fascinating. Your relationship with money shifts from static to dynamic. Instead of seeing your resources as fixed quantities to be protected, you recognize them as flowing energy that multiplies through circulation. This perspective shift alone creates an entirely different financial trajectory. The revelation that shifted everything for me was understanding that this multiplication doesn't require complex strategies or privileged starting positions. It begins with something much more fundamental: your energetic relationship with what you already have, regardless of the amount. To activate this multiplicative energy in your own life, begin by elevating your frequency through genuine gratitude. This isn't superficial thankfulness, but a profound appreciation for the resources already flowing through your life. Every time you acknowledge abundance with authentic gratitude, you literally raise your energetic vibration to become more compatible with multiplication. The second activator is maintaining coherence between your thoughts and actions around money. When your thoughts say abundance, but your behaviors scream scarcity, you create an energetic contradiction that blocks multiplication. Begin noticing where your financial decisions contradict your stated desires for prosperity. Each time you bring these into alignment, you strengthen your multiplication field. The third element is visualizing constant multiplication of your resources. This isn't wishful thinking, but a deliberate reprogramming of your subconscious expectations. When you consistently imagine your resources expanding and multiplying, feeling the emotional reality of this growth, you're actually recalibrating your energetic set point around wealth. What makes this approach so powerful is that when your energy truly aligns with abundance, even small opportunities transform into extraordinary results. A modest investment generates unexpected returns. A casual conversation leads to a significant business breakthrough. A simple idea evolves into a profitable venture. These aren't coincidences, but direct manifestations of your multiplicative energy field at work. I remember working with an entrepreneur who applied this principle to a struggling business. Rather than focusing exclusively on external strategies, he committed to transforming his energy around the resources he already had. He began treating his modest customer base as precious assets to be multiplied rather than inadequate numbers to be lamented. He approached each transaction with gratitude rather than desperation. He visualized multiplication rather than mere survival. Within 6 months, his business had tripled, not through radical external changes, but through this profound internal shift. If you're recognizing areas in your life where your energy might be constraining rather than multiplying your resources, type "activating multiplication" in the comments. This awareness marks the beginning of a transformation in how energy flows through every aspect of your financial reality. Now I want to share one of the most mystical yet practical principles I've discovered on my wealth journey. Have you ever experienced moments where everything seemed to effortlessly fall into place? A phone call arrives at the perfect time. An unexpected connection leads to exactly the opportunity you needed. A solution appears precisely when you were seeking it. These aren't random coincidences, but manifestations of a profound principle: synchronicity. When your energy truly aligns with abundance, synchronicity becomes your constant companion. Events, encounters, and opportunities begin appearing exactly when you need them, often in ways you couldn't have consciously orchestrated. It's as if the universe itself is conspiring in your favor, creating a pathway of perfectly timed experiences leading toward prosperity. I remember working with a client who had been struggling to launch her dream business for years. Despite detailed plans and tremendous effort, she kept encountering obstacles and delays. Her breakthrough came not through better strategies, but through energetic alignment. As she began to embody the energy of already being successful, thinking, feeling, and acting from that reality, the most extraordinary synchronicities started occurring. A random conversation at a coffee shop connected her with her ideal business partner. A cancelled appointment created space for an unexpected meeting with a key investor. A wrong turn while driving led her to the perfect location for her business. These weren't isolated incidents, but a pattern of synchronicity that emerged when her mind, emotions, and actions began vibrating in coherence with deservingness. What's happening behind the scenes during these synchronistic experiences is that you're tapping into what I call the cosmic clock, an invisible timing mechanism where every tick is perfectly coordinated to guide you toward what you deserve. Imagine for a moment that there's an ideal timeline for your prosperity, a sequence of events, connections, and opportunities designed to lead you toward abundance in the most efficient and graceful way possible. When you're attuned to this rhythm, when your energy is aligned with prosperity consciousness, the universe naturally shows you the way. Doors open at precisely the right moment. People appear exactly when you need them. Resources materialize just as they're required. But here's the critical understanding. If you're disconnected from this rhythm, if your energy is scattered by doubt, fear, or contradiction, these same events pass by unnoticed, and abundance seems perpetually elusive. The most fascinating aspect of this principle is that the opportunities you seek are often already present in your environment. They're not being withheld from you by some external force. They're simply invisible to you because your energetic frequency isn't yet compatible with perceiving them. I witnessed a remarkable demonstration of this principle with a financial advisor who had been struggling to attract high-net-worth clients. During our work together, he realized he had been operating from a subtle energy of unworthiness around serving wealthy individuals. As he aligned his inner state with deservingness, an extraordinary pattern of synchronicity unfolded. He discovered that several ideal clients had been in his extended network all along, but only became visible to him when his energy shifted. This cosmic timing doesn't operate on human schedules or expectations. It follows a deeper rhythm that often requires patience and trust. The person who pushes, forces, and demands immediate results actually disrupts this natural flow. But the person who maintains aligned energy while trusting the perfect unfolding of events activates a synchronistic field that can accomplish in days what might otherwise take years of effort. If you've experienced moments where perfect timing has played a crucial role in your financial journey, where things seemed to magically align in your favor, type "synced with abundance" in the comments. These synchronicities weren't random, but evidence of your momentary alignment with the cosmic clock of prosperity. Let me share what I believe is the most crucial turning point in any wealth transformation journey. Through years of studying prosperity consciousness and working with thousands of clients, I've discovered that the first real step toward abundance isn't what most people think. It's not about finding money, learning sophisticated manifestation methods, or waiting for the perfect opportunity to appear. It's something much more fundamental and entirely within your control, making a clear, definitive decision. This decision sounds deceptively simple. I will live in wealth and prosperity, and nothing will stop me. But the energy behind this declaration, when it comes from absolute certainty rather than desperate hoping, creates a vibrational shift so powerful that everything in your reality begins to reorganize itself around your new identity. What makes this decision so transformative is that the universe responds to firm decisions, not to prolonged indecision. Most people live in a perpetual state of hesitation around wealth, wanting it but doubting their worthiness, visualizing it but questioning its possibility, affirming it while internally contradicting it. This energetic wavering creates a frequency that keeps prosperity at arm's length. I remember working with a brilliant woman who had been studying wealth principles for years. She could recite manifestation techniques flawlessly and knew every prosperity affirmation by heart. Yet her financial situation remained unchanged. During our work together, she realized she had never actually made the fundamental decision to be wealthy. She had been hoping, wishing, and working toward prosperity. But underneath it all was a profound indecision about whether this path was truly hers to walk. Her breakthrough came when she finally made the decision with every cell of her being. Not as a technique or an affirmation, but as an unwavering choice that altered her entire energetic signature. Within weeks, opportunities that had seemed perpetually out of reach began appearing in her life. People who could help her mission suddenly entered her circle. Resources that had felt scarce became available, precisely when needed. To help you understand the power of this decisive moment, I want to share a metaphor that illustrates what's happening energetically. Imagine your life as a river that's currently stopped by a floodgate, what in Spanish is called a compuerta. While you remain in a state of indecision or hesitation about your prosperity, this gate remains closed. The water builds up behind it, becoming stagnant and pressurized, but it cannot flow forward. Opportunities, ideas, connections, and resources cannot reach you because the channel is blocked by your own uncertainty. But the moment you make a true decision, not just with your words, but with your entire being, something remarkable happens. The compuerta opens, and the flow begins moving with tremendous force. All the energy that had been building behind your indecision suddenly rushes forward, bringing money, ideas, connections, and opportunities directly toward you. What's happening behind the scenes of this decision is a fundamental identity shift. Before deciding, your energy is split. Part of you wants abundance, while another part questions your deservingness. After truly deciding, your entire energy field aligns with a single focus. This energetic coherence is what the universe responds to, reshaping your external circumstances to match your internal certainty. The most fascinating aspect of this principle is that it operates independently of your current circumstances. Your financial situation, background, education, or connections don't determine your ability to make this decision. Anyone can access this transformative power at any moment simply by choosing with unwavering clarity to embody wealth consciousness. If you sense that you've been hovering in indecision about your prosperity, consciously wanting wealth while unconsciously hesitating to claim it, type "decision made" in the comments. This declaration can mark the pivotal moment when you fully open the floodgates to the abundance that's been waiting to flow into your life. Now, I want to reveal a crucial element that many manifestation teachings gloss over, the element that bridges the invisible and visible realms of wealth creation. While the decision to be wealthy creates the energetic foundation, it's not the complete equation. Wealth doesn't manifest through thought, desire, or visualization alone, no matter how powerful or consistent they might be. There's another essential component: decided, coherent action. This isn't just any kind of action, but the specific type that follows firm decision and reinforces the invisible flow of abundance. Think of it like this: you've opened the floodgate of prosperity with your decision, but without proper channels to direct that flow, the water simply disperses or creates chaos. Action is the channel that guides wealth into your life in an ordered, effective manner. I remember working with a visionary entrepreneur who had mastered the internal aspects of wealth consciousness. His thoughts were aligned, his emotions were congruent, and his decision to succeed was unwavering. Yet his business remained stagnant. During our work together, he discovered that he was waiting for the universe to manifest his vision without his physical participation. His revelation came when he realized that action isn't separate from manifestation, it's an integral part of it. What happens behind the scenes when you take decided, coherent action is remarkable. Each aligned step you take creates ripples in the quantum field, strengthening the pattern of your intention. It's not that your action makes manifestation happen, rather, your action is manifestation happening. The physical moves you make are the universe's energy expressing itself through you. The transformation for my client began when he started treating each business decision, each call, each offering as a sacred extension of his prosperity consciousness, rather than just work he had to do while waiting for abundance. As his actions became more congruent with his inner state, his results multiplied exponentially. This principle reveals why two people can take identical actions yet experience dramatically different outcomes. One person acts from fear, doubt, or obligation. Their action lacks the energetic coherence required for manifestation. Another person takes the same action, but from certainty, alignment, and decided purpose. Their identical behavior produces exponential results, because it's charged with different energy. Now I want to go even deeper into the foundation of both decision and action, the thought that transforms fortune. Wealth begins not with money, contacts, or credentials, but with clear, firm, powerful thought. Everything that exists in the material world was first a thought before it became reality. Every fortune, every empire, every financial breakthrough began as an idea in someone's mind. Think of a sculptor standing before a block of marble. To the untrained eye, it's just stone. But in the sculptor's mind, the complete work already exists in perfect detail. The physical act of chiseling merely reveals what was first created in thought. Your financial reality operates in exactly the same way. Your thoughts aren't just reflections of your circumstances, they're the architects of them. What's happening energetically is that your dominant thoughts about wealth create a vibrational template that the universe then fills with matching experiences and opportunities. When your thoughts are scattered, contradictory, or fear-based, this template becomes distorted and manifestation either slows or produces mixed results. But when your thoughts are clear, decisive, and consistently aligned with prosperity, the template becomes powerful and precise. If you're beginning to recognize the immense creative power of your thoughts and how they might be shaping your financial reality, for better or worse, type Thought Architect in the UC. Comments. This awareness marks a profound shift in how you approach the entire wealth creation process. Now I want to reveal what I consider the missing link in most wealth creation teachings, the element without which even the most powerful thoughts remain unrealized. You see, without emotion, wealth doesn't materialize. You can have perfect clarity about what you want, make firm decisions, and take consistent actions. But if your emotional state isn't aligned, the magnetic power required for manifestation remains dormant. Emotion is the spark that transforms intention into a powerful attractor capable of drawing money, opportunities, and prosperity toward you. Think of it like a candle. Your thought is the oil, providing the substance and structure, but emotion is the flame that creates light and heat. Both elements are essential for illumination to occur and expand. I remember working with a brilliant strategist who understood wealth principles intellectually, but couldn't seem to manifest tangible results. His thoughts were clear and focused, his decisions were firm, and his actions were consistent, yet abundance remained elusive. During our work together, he discovered he had been approaching manifestation mechanically, without emotional investment. His breakthrough came when he began infusing his prosperity consciousness with genuine feeling, not just thinking about abundance, but feeling it in every cell of his body. What happens energetically when you add emotional resonance to your wealth creation process is remarkable. Your entire vibrational signature shifts from conceptual to experiential. Instead of merely affirming, "I am wealthy," you begin to embody the actual feeling state of prosperity, the confidence, ease, gratitude, and certainty that naturally accompany abundance. This emotional congruence is what transforms your energy field into a powerful magnet. Most people underestimate how much their emotional state influences their manifestation power. They might diligently visualize prosperity while feeling anxious, repeat abundance affirmations while harboring doubt, or take aligned actions while experiencing fear. This emotional contradiction creates static in your vibrational broadcast, weakening its magnetic pull. The journey toward emotional alignment begins with honest awareness. What do you truly feel about money, wealth, and prosperity? Beneath your conscious affirmations, what emotional undercurrents might be contradicting your stated desires? As you identify these misalignments, you can begin the transformative process of emotional recalibration. This revelation brings us to what I believe is the most profound stage in the wealth journey, the moment everything changes. There comes a point for every sincere seeker when something extraordinary happens. You stop seeking. You no longer chase money, success, or universal signs. The constant striving, pushing, and yearning simply dissolves. In this profound moment of surrender and recognition, you suddenly understand that everything you've been pursuing was already within you. It's as if you've been running around the world searching for a treasure that was in your pocket all along. This isn't a conceptual understanding, but a bone-deep knowing that transforms your entire relationship with abundance. The revelation that changes everything is this: true wealth isn't gold, possessions, or numbers in an account. It's an internal state of certainty, gratitude, and power that, once activated, naturally transforms any idea into prosperity and any desire into reality. You realize that you were never meant to chase abundance. You were meant to remember that you are abundance. I witnessed this transformation in a client who had spent decades pursuing financial freedom, through countless strategies, investments, and opportunities. His shift came not through finding the perfect formula, but through a moment of profound surrender. In letting go of the desperate search, he discovered what had been present all along, his innate connection to the infinite field of abundance. What makes this moment so powerful is that it marks the transition from external seeking to internal being. You no longer need to prove your worthiness, chase opportunities, or even manifest prosperity. You simply are prosperity in human form, and your external reality has no choice but to reflect this truth back to you. If you've experienced glimpses of this profound shift, moments, where you sense that abundance isn't something to pursue, but something to remember, type "I am the wealth I seek" in the comments. These moments of recognition are the first rays of dawn in the new reality you're stepping into. You've just discovered the most powerful secret to transforming your financial reality. Acting as if you're already wealthy isn't pretending. It's remembering your true energetic nature. This shift in identity is what creates the 72-hour window where the universe begins. Responding to your new vibration. If this message resonated with you at a deeper level than just intellectual understanding, if you felt something shift within you as we explored these principles together, I'd love to hear from you. Type "My transformation begins now" in the comments so I know who's truly ready to step into this new reality. I create these videos because I've witnessed the profound transformation that happens when people reclaim their power around wealth, and nothing brings me more joy than hearing your breakthroughs. If you found value in our time together, gently tap that like button. It's a simple way to help others discover these same principles that are shifting your reality right now. For those who are serious about continuing this journey of energetic wealth creation, there's a video right here that takes you deeper into how to maintain this prosperity consciousness when faced with contradicting external circumstances. It's the perfect complement to what we've explored today. Click and join me there as we take the next step in your abundance awakening. Until we connect again, remember, you're not becoming wealthy, you're remembering that you already are.